It is 2009 and the Front National, a French party known for its strong stance on national sovereignty and immigration, is a minor player with just over 6% of the vote during the EU elections. Soon after, Marine Le Pen takes the lead, and by 2014 they win an astonishing 25% of the French vote in the European elections. Then 2019 rolls around, and it's shaping up to be Le Pen's moment. But here comes Macron, slicing into her lead and leaving her with 23%. Still impressive, but shy of a landslide. Macron, with his youthful energy and promises of reform, initially seemed like a breath of fresh air. But fast forward to the present, and the air is thick with discontent. His presidency is marred by protests. Think masses of people hitting the streets, furious about pension reforms, and farmers driving their tractors into Paris. As the next EU elections loom this year, the political tide appears to be turning once more. Le Pen's National Rally Party, now riding high due to a wave of dissatisfaction with Macron's leadership, is polling at a staggering 29%. Macron, on the other hand, seems to be losing his grip, with projections putting him at a mere 17%. Other parties are polling even lower, making Le Pen the main player in the EU elections for France. But what does this all mean? Well, political parties from across EU member states don't just compete in isolation. They're part of larger alliances that span the continent. Le Pen's National Rally aligns with the IND group, uniting eurosceptic right-wing parties like Italy's Brothers of Italy and Germany's AfD towards a nation-focused Europe. On the other hand, Macron's Renaissance Party aligns with Renew Europe, uniting pro-European liberal parties like the Dutch VVD and the Spanish Citizens Party towards EU integration. The other French parties align to other big European groups, but obviously have far fewer MEPs. If you don't know these European groups and are getting lost in the details, make sure you watch this video first. It will give you all the basics to the European elections, and please subscribe to stay informed about the EU. Le Pen's rising popularity is poised to significantly alter France's representation in the European Parliament. Should elections occur today, her national rally would propel the IND group with an additional 9 French MEPs, while the Renew group would lose 9 seats. This shift would not only enhance the IND group's standing, but also catapult it into 3rd place within the parliament, right behind the SD and the EPP. But oh, how the plot thickens. With the elections fast approaching, the National Rally are eyeing potential alliances with other European groups. For example, the ECR group. This move, especially alongside Italian Prime Minister Meloni's Brothers of Italy, could significantly boost the ECR, propelling it to 3rd place with a projected 109 seats. Additionally, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban's Fidesz party, with its 13 MEPs currently unaffiliated, is contemplating joining the ECR. This could elevate the group's total to 122 seats, while still trailing behind the SD and EPP. This bolstered position could significantly enhance the ECR's influence within the EU. But things get even more intriguing. The National Rally is also contemplating an unprecedented alliance with the centre-right EPP, as their policies begin to converge. The EPP has adopted a stricter stance on migration and is softening its approach on green policies, while the National Rally is moderating its nationalist positions, potentially paving the way for collaboration. Historically, such an alliance would have been unthinkable due to the cordon sanitaire, a principle that prevents mainstream parties from partnering with those on the far right or the far left. However, the once rigid boundaries are gradually eroding. The EPP, along with the ECR and IND, are finding common ground more frequently, whether on environmental regulations or migration policies. If the National Rally and the EPP form an alliance, the EPP could dominate the European Parliament with an estimated 201 seats, significantly influencing EU policies. However, the likelihood of this alliance is very uncertain, leaving it open for speculation. But one thing is for certain, Le Pen has a lot of power in the elections, and whichever group she joins will be a force to be reckoned with during the next election cycle. Now on to our Sprint for Commission President leaderboard. So, if Le Pen were to join the EPP, then the EPP will almost certainly win the election, Therefore, let's move the EPP candidates forward slightly. On the other hand, Le Pen might also join the ECR, and in this case, we would need to place a potential ECR candidate at the very back. Obviously, we would need a political earthquake for them to catch up with von der Leyen. But hey, you never know. So, this was our episode 2 of our Road to the EU election series. Our goal is to make the European elections fun and simple. Each episode will feature a spotlight story, like this week's focus on France, followed by the current polls and the race for Commission President. Check out the video linked above if you are new to politics, and please subscribe if you're keen on supporting our mission to educate the public about the EU. And as always, consider signing up to Patreon. Thanks for watching, and until next time.